Okay, so anyway, thank you so much for um tuning in our video. This will be the topic for the weighted moving average model, which is another forecasting technique that we'll be going to learn so far for today's lesson. So our lesson is all about the weighted moving average, which is a moving average used primarily in technical analysis and forecasting that assigns different weights to data points within a time series, giving more importance to recent observations than older ones. And this approach allows the average to be more responsive to recent changes in the data, making it more sensitive and timely than a simple moving average or the SMA, which assigns equal weight to all data points. So actually, class, this is somewhat similar to the simple moving average that you are always shifting, and you're adding and giving, getting the average based on the number of data points that you have. Now, for example, if you do have a data from January up until March, so January and up until March, then you are using the 3 months of moving average. So basically, based on the three data, since every data points from January, February, March, there is a specific weights for that accordingly. Then what will happen? You have to multiply the data points into the corresponding weighted data for that. That's how it works. And then you will divide into the weights that you do have. You will get the weights for that. So this is how you are going to get the average for this. Now, we have a given formula that was stated right there. If you can see that, that is P1 times W1 plus P2 W2 plus Pn up until Wn. Now, what is P? That is the data set. And what is W? That is a given weight in that specific data set over to our denominator, which is the weights. When we say weights, those are the corresponding data that you do have. So now, what will happen? As what I have stated, P are the data points like the values, the prices, the observations at time periods from 1 up until n. Then the weights are assigned to the respective data points, that is the W, and the numerator, that is the weighted sum of the data points, where each data point you have to multiply that by the corresponding weight. And denominator is the sum of the weights that you have. This will be the steps that you have to follow, multiplying each data point by its weight, summing the weighted data points, summing the weights, calculating the weighted moving average. Now let's take it one by one. For this one, multiplying each data point with its weight, each data point Pi is multiplied with its corresponding weight Wi. And this step is really emphasizes the relative importance of each data point. More recent data points, or those considered more significant, get higher weights. Now, for this one here, summing the weighted data points, the results from each multiplications are added to give a weighted sum. That's how it works. Now, for this one here then, summing the weights are summed up in the denominator. This ensures that the weighted average is normalized, meaning it doesn't unfairly skew the results because of very high or low weights that you do have. Then, lastly, calculating the weighted moving average, which is using the formula that will help to find the average, takes into account the significance or weights of each data point. So this is how the definition of this one, how does it work, with those kind of things. So you just have to refer in the other video how the calculation really works. That was already posted in actually in the separate video. Thank you so much. and have a great day.